It's unbelievable to. No, it isn't. I was going to say it's unbelievable to think that this is what is the result of what the founding framers of the Republic put together 200 some years ago. And then I have to stop and tell myself, oh, come on, Malloy, for fuck's sake. They were racist. They were genocidal. They were slavers. They were, misogynistic all the way down to the bottoms of their feet. It just took a little bit longer than most countries, I guess, to get to the point where Donald Trump would emerge out of the slime. Well, here he is. And that the best the Democrats could come up with would be Hillary Clinton. But see, even when I say it, I think, okay, why are you saying that, Malloy? What did she do? Benghazi, Benghazi. Libya! We came, we saw, he died. This, that. What? I can't get a grasp on what she did that generates this kind of rage and visceral contempt and, oh, fuck, I'd rather vote for a goddamn garbage can than her. Why? And when I made this statement several weeks ago about, hey, folks, I'm sorry, but my position now is anyone who does not support the lesser of two evils, you're making goddamn good and sure this country goes dictatorial and fascist. And I made that statement several weeks ago. It just, my own personal thing. Like I said, repeatedly, I don't give a shit what you do, what you think. I'm just stating my case.
Can I make my announcement?
You have an announcement? You're not pregnant.
No, I'm not. Oh, God.
What?
No, if I were pregnant, you'd have to be peeling me off the floor.
All right.
No, my announcement is that I told you I was going to say this. I have revised my position because of this. I now will be voting for Hillary Clinton, and it has nothing to do with the influence of anybody except my own brain and the realization that this guy is actually bulletproof. And, the Supreme Court lays in the balance. Now, saying this, I thought for sure he was dead on Friday night. I just kept waiting for the press conference where Kellyanne Conway came out and said, he's stepping down and we're going to have to get the electoral. No, that Trump, is stepping
Trump
down.
and that would never happen.
Yeah, right. And that, something... Supreme Court was going to have to call a special election, or there's going to have to be a special electoral college appointment, or some crap was going to have to happen. And when that didn't happen, I was disappointed. And then I was shocked when not only did he actually show up at the debate, but they treated him like he belonged there. And then what got me after that was the fact that there were all these pundits declaring that he won the debate. Okay, at that moment, when Hillary had said at one point, he's living in an alternate reality, I started to realize I'm living in an alternate reality too. This isn't possible. So I'm going to have to do the impossible, which is go against my kind of moral fabric and vote for someone I really don't want to see in the Oval Office, but only because I don't have a choice. And it is that important. And I think that everybody out there, anybody, but especially if you consider yourself a progressive or a liberal or a Democrat of any denomination, I hope we will work like hell at this point to get our local politicians elected. We have got to take back the Senate and preferably the House, but at least the Senate, because that is our last wall of defense against the Supreme Court nominees that are going to come if Trump is elected. And I don't know how else to say it. If you can't support Hillary Clinton, then for God's sake, go support your local Senate candidate. Go support the senator. And if you don't have a senator that's up for re-election, find one. Find one in a neighboring state. Find one in a state that where your friends live or your children live, and make phone calls, send out mail, do email lists, knock on doors, put out signs. I mean, it is vital, vital. If we can't do, because I don't think there's anything we can do to move the needle for Hillary. I really don't. I don't think there's anything at this point that.
Well, if you've taken a look at the new polls that are out there, respectable polls, all of a sudden she has a double-digit lead.
That's great. That's great. But as important, in my mind, as important, if not more important, is to make sure that we get as many congressmen, congresswomen, senators elected as possible for insurance, and also as a check against her. You know, I mean, I need somebody out there that I can trust who will pull on her brakes if she tries to do something what I would consider to be rash or untoward, especially in foreign policy. If we start talking about drone strikes and boots on the ground places that they shouldn't be, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know what you're saying. Let me just jump in here, because I don't think anyone should wander around the reservation here thinking that if Hillary Clinton decides to wage war someplace, there are going to be people to stop her. She will. There will be conflicts with her in the office. Tell me a president who hasn't since. I mean, how far back do you want to go? Go all the way back to Theodore Roosevelt. There will be war with Hillary Clinton in office. Now, a declared war, an official war, a big invasion war? No, there probably won't. A nuclear war? No. There probably won't. But with Trump, there's no doubt in my mind. So the idea that somehow Hillary Clinton is not going to be as much of a believer in war and violence as any other political contender for the White House, that's bullshit. That's crazy thinking. But on the other hand, if you're going to base your rejection of Clinton on that, well then, God damn it, Sparky, you better stop voting for everybody in this country. We are a war-mongering nation. For Christ's sake, wake up and smell the gunpowder. We don't have any peace candidate. What was the last one? Dennis Kucinich?
Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, but even Sanders didn't come up with the Department of Peace that Kucinich talked about. We are not a peace-loving people. God damn it, just pick up your daily paper. Take a look at the violence that goes on right here. Unending violence. Look at the violence we do against each other, the violence we do against the planet, the violence all over the goddamn place. So anyone who says, well, I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton because she'll start a war. Are you fucking kidding me? Then don't vote for anybody ever here in the United States of America. None of them. I don't know why it's difficult for some people to get in their heads that this is what we have become. We are a murderous goddamn nation that has no respect for international treaties, no respect for international agreements, nothing. We will fucking do what we want to do. And if we can't do it, we'll hire people like these pig fucking Saudis to go do it. I'm not going to vote for Hillary because she'll have us in a war. Oh.